He owns New Skin. It's that building right
Oh yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome.
That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so starting off every podcast, Bronson Kaufusi, by the way. It's like super cat.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Are we on it right now?
we're on, dude.
Let's go.
We're going. But I always ask each each guest, like, first question is like, what's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life?
Oh shoot, that's a good question. I've done some hard things. Um, there's pain comes in different shapes and forms. There's like immediate pain, and that can hurt, but probably and then there's pain that's like lengthened, like it's just over a longer period of time, but it's not as intense. But it's just because it's over a longer period of time, it's even harder.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a few things. Like one thing that comes to mind is I blew out all the discs in my low back,
Okay.
and I had to, I was backing up someone in the NFL that year, and he got hurt, and I went in, and I had to play with my foot
With the bad discs?
with all the bad discs.
Oh, geez.
I couldn't even like get in my stance. I'd like get down on one knee to then get in my stance every single time because my back was so messed up. And every practice it was just terrible pain. Like I could barely move, and I was like, "Am I gonna make it through?" And that's super tough. And also, I mean, the year right before that, I had dislocated my ankle, spiral fractured my leg, my rookie year. So, yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, that's really tough, right? Especially when you're like on top of the world after you get drafted, and you're doing. I mean, you played. So, like, for me, that was really tough, And then, I would say like even learning something that's always been tough for me has just been, you know, learning about something outside of my scope or my field. So, but it attracts me. It's weird because it's so hard and something that, we've been talking about even today, when we were working out earlier, on the investment side, business, that does not come easy to me. And people think it does, but it doesn't. It's been hard. I've had to learn.
Yeah. Are you talking about stuff that maybe you're not naturally inclined to be really good at? That attracts you to get good at those things?
Yeah, it's weird. Because even like in school, like when I was at BYU, I was like, what do you want to study? And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing that was staring me in the face that I really didn't want to do is what I did. And so that's really, and it was statistics, analytics. And so I did it honestly because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's really strange, and it was so challenging, and it's a really hard major. And then I needed to graduate after the end of the 2015 season, that December.
Yeah.
And I was like 2 years out or 18 months out, and I noticed I had to take school I had to take from that moment all the way to the end of the season. I never took a break, and I had to take 18 credits or more every semester. And so that was tough. I'd be so disciplined, and yeah, I mean, but I love it though. It's weird. Like it attracts me to, like, I want to do the tough stuff.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about that because so the podcast is called the Suffer on Purpose podcast, and I feel like when we kind of talk about this, but the majority of my life, I had a great family. I know you come from an awesome family too, but I feel like I had to do a lot of chosen suffering of like, because I didn't have like a job growing up, I didn't we didn't struggle for money, and it was more like, okay, I have to put all my effort into like this one thing, which was like football.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do find it interesting. I think my views have changed about like hardship and pain a lot since, especially like being married and having kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like before it was like, okay, like I'm working hard because of more of like a character trait. Like and I still do that, where I want to have the character of the person who would be, a multi-millionaire, what would they look like? What would they do?
Yeah.
Like if I was a great athlete, what would they look like? What would they do? But now it's like, okay, I have like a family and kids to provide for. Like, I want to give them the best life possible. Like, it almost extracts more effort out of you,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's like in a different way to where like I don't feel as in a lot of things, like when it comes to like my work and my craft, I don't feel as grudging like doing it. It's more of like, oh, I'm so proud I get to do this,
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting how your views can change
Yeah.
when you do have family and kids.
Ah, so true.
But how do you feel like your experience in at BYU or even in the NFL? How did that help you with what you're doing right now?
Oh man, I would say it's literally it was the launch pad for me. But what people and a lot of athletes don't realize is you still gotta hit a button to launch a rocket. Like, you know what I mean? You still gotta strike a match. Like,
Yeah.
and that's where I feel like a lot of athletes, anyone in transitions, and when you're transitioning, it's tough, it's hard. And for me, fortunately, I was super active in that space, and I knew early on, like even within the teams, you start to see different levels. Like certain guys are performing us in certain ways, and you start to see patterns. And so for me, I feel like one of my greatest skill sets is being able to just learn and recognize patterns.
Yeah.
Without people even saying anything. And when I'm consuming information, or
you feel like you were able to do that like even in college and stuff?
Yeah, even in college.
Cool.
And
that's like Tony Robbins. He always talks about that pattern recognition. That's cool.
And I could recognize it, but then one thing that really helped me was not just recognizing it. People say find a mentor, and I'm like, no, find someone you can pattern your life off of, and just do that, because it becomes very real when you can see a person doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not just, I'm actually going to do everything that they do. Like the habits, every habit that they do, I want to know it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see, I'm going to do it. And that's where people, that's for me, that's where people I feel like struggle is they see patterns, but they don't act on it. Yeah. And that's where the ball's dropped most of the time. And so that's for me, that's what's helped me outside of football is, the athletes, the high performers, there's a pattern, but that pattern is happening because they're applying every single day these daily habits. Well, it's the same thing in business. And once you train that over and over as an athlete, you can take it into any area.
Yeah.
And you can dominate because of your consistent habits, how you prepare for the day, how you attack everything, the mindset of, I don't lose. I just learn. I just keep moving forward. I mean, there's so much that you learn. That's why I love sports. And that's why I'm grateful that my parents were like, yeah, you're going to play sports, and you're going to play a sport. You're going to play a musical instrument. Like you're going to, you're going to work, do all these things. But yeah, I really, for me, I just feel fortunate that I understood that, but then also was able to apply it every day in all the stuff I do now.
Yeah, that's cool, dude. I would say though that like being athletes, I do think we have a huge advantage. And like I was telling you, I didn't understand that advantage until, later on in life. But when it comes to like the pattern recognition, I would argue that most people, they look at an outcome that someone gets, like the facade or the cars, the house, all that kind of stuff, and they want to model like the outcome, but they're not modeling the inputs. You know what I mean?
It's the task.
Yeah.
That's the task versus outcome mentality, where it's like, I need to focus on the task.
Yeah.
Because the outcome is in the future. That's where fear is.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why people, this is why a lot of people on social media and people struggle, because we're looking at people's highlights, at outcomes all day, hours a day, looking at outcomes. It's like, people don't see the grind. People don't see the process, the tasks, the hours every day, especially in sports. Like, people just watch games on Sunday or Saturday or Friday or whatever, and they think it's just like, that's it. But they don't understand it's been years. Yeah. Years to get to that point.
I know. I always tell people the funnest part about college football was flying the jets and eat dinners. It was just a grind.
Yeah.
It is a grind, but yeah, I do feel like that's one thing that I know you're doing with like Young Athlete Society, and you're very involved with other athletes, but that's something I want to help as well, like just with other guys that I've played with, or guys that are, whether they be struggling or whatever. It's like there's so much advantages we have as athletes that we can apply. Because it's just, for me, for years I just couldn't figure it out, dude. Like I couldn't figure out how those traits, those habits, those principles apply to business. I don't know why my brain just didn't work that way.
It's a different ecosystem too,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot. I don't think there's enough athletes that talk about this right
That's
here.
it. Maybe they just don't talk about
No,
it.
they don't talk about
They
it,
just finish football or whatever their sport they're doing. They just kind of go into life.
and we silo ourselves too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the thing. Well, think about this for a second. Every athlete that you played with, and on the field, even within our own teams, we compete with them every single day. So that habit of competing, like I'm going against you every day. I want to beat you. You're my competition. It's like against you, against you, against you.
Yeah.
So now off the field, how am I going to treat you after doing that for years? I'm not actually going to collaborate with you. And I'm the opposite. I'm trying to knock that mentality down and be like, no, we can all win, and we should be working together because we're so like-minded. Like you get athletes together and it's like immediate connection. Like and it's just because we understand
Yeah.
or there's different level. And so being able to have a different mindset of, I can help you win, you can help me win, we can all win, changes the game.
Yeah. And I think that's probably something that comes from mostly like team sports too, like football especially. Because like we're competing for a starting spot,
Yeah,
and
it gets everyone in the room that you see every single day.
Yeah, and I think that's hard to get that out of your head. Because like for me, I would never even view myself as even though I wasn't an athlete, like I'm not very competitive with other people.
Yeah.
I'm more like, oh, how can I get myself like better?
Yeah.
Because I've just never been like I didn't have like brothers growing up and stuff, so I was always just like competing with myself,
Which is the best way to be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess, but yeah, I guess that is one part of me that maybe could be enhanced a little bit. Is that competitiveness with other people?
Yeah.
But still do it in like a collaborative way, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you could do that. But when it comes to bits, so you're at Harrison.
Yeah, right here.
Like, how do you feel? We talked about this a little bit in the weight room. When it comes to your network, and I know a lot of athletes can probably relate to this that are playing or didn't play. How can your network help you with when either with your increasing your income, or I guess opening other opportunities for other people? Like, how can that benefit you?
Yeah, no, your network truly is everything. Now some of the hardest things about, just your network is building it, right? Like, how do I build my network? Well, people think it's like, oh, I gotta go to networking events, I gotta do this and that. And it's like, okay, well, where's my influence at right now? And I go in like, we're gonna start in the middle and go out. So it's like, my influence is my wife, my kids. And then we go from there. Where else is my influence? Oh, my siblings, my mom and dad, my in-laws. Okay, now where is it at? I'm a part of the family unit right here. And then I'm a part of sports teams. And I have all these different things I'm a part of.
Yeah.
Everything that I do, if I want to accelerate anything, should actually go within the things I'm already a part of. Because it is hard to get into a new network and it's something new. It's just going to be harder. But if I have someone, if I want to get into something new, but there's someone over here, they build a bridge for me, I can walk right in.
Yeah.
And so you have to, like for me, like being able to, build my network starts with the people that I'm closest with, and then I go outward. And so, it's hard because a lot of times, building a network it does take time though, because it's your relationship building, but it's like the most valuable thing. Why? Because that group of people, I'm talking to them every day. which means I'm engaging, not just my words, but everything up top, right? And even, stuff will start to rub off, body language, the things we talk about. And that's why it's so important who we have around ourselves. Like, it really does matter, and it will affect you whether you see it or not. Your subconscious is being
Yeah.
trained by the people around you. So if you want to be a high performer, be around high performers.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess, okay, I'm gonna ask you for some advice. So I drove an hour to come do this, right? And we're, I'm from more up north, but something that I'm way more attracted to, and maybe it's just because of where everybody lives or whatever demographics, but I'm more attracted to talk to people that live in this area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like this area more south, and so how would you say like is the best way to, like, would you say it's best to kind of do what you're already naturally inclined to do, like when it comes to like networking, meeting new people like you, for
Yeah.
example. Like I knew you played football. We have automatic connection there.
Yeah.
We had a connection with like a few common friends, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the bridge,
Yeah.
right? But like I don't necessarily like live next to you.
Yeah.
Aligned with my values and what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? And like I have a family, you have a family,
Yep.
and so how would you feel like do you think that's the best way to do it? Like do stuff that aligns with your values? Because I would assume you don't network with people that don't align with your values.
Yeah. Well,
Or
I mean, it's like, yes, because, I want to spend time because at the end of the day, your network is just time. So if I'm going to spend my time with people, right, and it's not my wife and my kids, or, I want to make sure I'm with people, like you said, that are, similar in values, but like more so similar in purpose, which are your values, but
yeah,
for me, purpose really matters because, like what you said earlier about, having your kids and your wife and how you go to work, you show up differently. Well, why? Because it's your purpose is very clear. And so for me, it's like, yeah, I'll talk to anyone, meet anyone.
yeah,
But I, a lot of business that happens and anything and connections and opening doors, I find myself doing that a lot more with people who have purpose, and, similar purpose, similar drive, similar passion. And yeah, we might all be on different trails.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But we're all still climbing. So we see eye to eye, whether you're in this industry or that industry. Well, guess what? You're a son. I'm a son. You're a father. I'm a father. You're a husband. I'm a husband. There's just so much crossover, right?
yeah.
You're not. I'm not. It's like it's the intangibles that really make networking an art. And I think a lot of people, sometimes look over that and they don't realize like within who they are already
Yeah.
is their network. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and I think because I used to, I was talking to my wife about this the other day, but I used to think that networking was all just like this transactional thing. Like, oh, I gotta go meet with this person so that I can get something out of it. But like for me, I feel like I get so much more out of things when I genuinely am just curious and like I want to be friends with people.
Isn't that so good?
Yeah, it's like because I feel like for a long time with the whole networking, craze, I would just think like, okay, who do I need to talk to? Who can help me get to where I want to go? But now it's like, who am I genuinely curious about? And it can be totally non-related things,
Yeah.
like whether it's you being an athlete or some other dude who's like a chef. Like
Yeah.
I love cooking.
Yeah. Let's go.
So it's like, well, I'm genuinely just curious about it. So like, why not just go link up and chat with him and see
Yeah.
what he's all about, because I think anybody that has success, they have a successful family, like they're
Matters.
raising kids and all that stuff matters. And I think that they're doing something right,
Yeah.
they're financially successful and they're well known in the community for, I think they're doing some good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just genuinely curious now. So.
And you have a really great mindset towards like I mean, it's crazy. Like you hear this a lot, but like something that I've learned with building relationships, which is networking. But relationships are built off of trust. And when you're going to build a new relationship, you have to have the mindset of being a giver first. Like
Yeah.
you just do. Like if you can give first, it's the fastest way to build that bridge of trust. And why? Because it's the law of reciprocity. Like, so for me, I'm always, when I meet someone and like, I'm just trying to give, and it always comes back around. And it's a different mindset though than I'm
Yeah.
coming in here to take or, but
But much healthier, I would say.
much healthier.
And
And there's no strings attached. So you don't
yeah,
feel like if nothing happens, it's
and
like,
you don't feel like anyone owes you anything. It's just like I'm just
oh
doing
yeah,
this 'cause I want to do it.
yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
helping everyone win. Like that is
Yeah.
my mindset and kind of like my mantra I always put on the end of all my stuff, always winning. And it's because I'm always giving. I'm
Yeah.
always building. I'm always, trying to help people get to where they want to be. And in turn, just naturally, I end up where I want to be, but I'm not even focusing on myself.
Yeah.
Like it's more outward giving, sharing, connecting, and that's where relationships are really built.
Yeah. So I guess my last question is, how do you think we can help other people? So I'm in the door space, right?
Yeah. Love that space.
And I really want to. So the reason I use social media really
Mm-hmm.
is because I want to connect with other former athletes, mentor young men, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like we can help people who maybe weren't athletes gain that sort of athlete mindset in terms of like leveling up their performance and being a better like husband? And
Yeah, man, that's a really good question. I think, athletes, I like to draw the parallel of, what do all athletes have access to? And I try to give that access to everyone else in other areas. So as an athlete, what do I have access to? Well, every day I wake up, I have access to a gym. I have access to working out. I have access to moving my body in a way, but I'm not just doing it just to do it. Like I'm doing it for a purpose, which is to play a game. So attaching a purpose to why I am working out is something every athlete has. So let's help other people experience that. And I found this same mentality with those who sign up for races. And that's why races are awesome, because it's like, oh, I sign up for like a half marathon or something. Every day I wake up, I have purpose to go move and exercise and sweat, get my body moving, right? Now, the second thing is, okay, well, an athlete, they work out every morning. What else do they do? What else do they have access to? They have access to people who are going to coach them to fulfill the purpose or goal that they're trying to get. You had a coach, I had a coach. We all need coaches, no matter what level we're at. And not enough people have coaches to help them perform. Now, this is where it's unique, because do I have the right coach? And it really does matter.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I love the door-to-door space, because you have an opportunity to be a coach for all the guys you help.
Yeah.
And you get to train them, hold them accountable, tough love them up. You get to play the coach role. So I think being able to have access to, with a goal, everything's goal driven, everything is tracked as an athlete. Like, so working out, moving our bodies, being coached. Well, guess what? We also have a game. We have something that we are preparing for. And when we run out of that tunnel, it's like the coolest feeling ever, right?
Yeah.
And there's excitement, there's energy around this event, right? And going back to like having a race or something, right? Having a coach, it's like, where's my arena? Like, what's my arena? And when people, like in sales, like my arena is my area. Okay. How can I, what's the highest way I can perform in that arena? And being able to have access to just those three things alone, right? Like being able to have access to something, being able to work out, train, not just work out, we're going to train for something, right? Being able to have a coach, and then an arena, a game day like experience. I think that's a lot of motivation, because you're not going alone in any of it.
Yeah.
You have to have a team, which is what ties it all together. So I think that's why I love door to door, because it's the modern day. I mean, you're an athlete. You have those things. And now the question is, well, within the team, everyone has those things. How do I separate myself? Oh, well, number one, and I saw this at the NFL, because everyone's big, everyone's fast. At college, everyone's big, everyone's fast. How do I separate myself? It's truly your mindset. How you show up, how much studying you're doing, how disciplined you are. Like, that's what separates yourself. And no matter what happens in life, you can still win, and you can still move forward, and you can still, continue to learn and grow. And so it's this game. It's something that never stops moving, and
Yeah.
I don't know. And so being able to have that athlete mindset of just one more, of just keep going, of just, but at the same time, being able to evaluate every day as an athlete, we get evaluated every single day.
Yeah.
And you just get used to it, and you love it. And that's the thing. Some guys don't like it, but the sooner you love it and you embrace it, like, I feel like those are the guys, that's one pattern that I notice. Those are the guys that win the most. They just embrace the culture, embrace it, and just give it a try. Some guys, they kind of hold back. They don't go all in to the culture or to what. It's like, do I trust my coach? Do I trust my team? If I do, then I'm in. If I don't, then maybe you're on the wrong team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's massive, dude. I think, I'm gonna have to re-listen to that and write that down, because it really is, like, especially when I'm out there, and all the that guys can relate to that, is the mindset is just so important.
It's everything.
When just being enthusiastic every day, being excited about getting better, not taking it too seriously, where you can be, Michael Clark taught me that,
Yep.
be a little bit more lighthearted about it.
Yeah, laugh it off.
Have fun with it,
Yeah, with your team. Yeah, like, think about the funniest jokes in the locker room. Like, everyone's hanging out. It's still fun and exciting. Yeah, you're serious. But learning how to, a lot of people, high performers, and in sports psychology, they call it energy oscillation. And it's like, the best performers know how to go up and come back down, and go up and come back down. So you're doing this instead of going like this the whole time, because this leads to just crashes.
Yeah.
And people give up. So being able to go in hard on a practice, on a game, on a, and then just after the game, after the practice, come back down, but you can, how I like to view it is like football, for example. When I go out there for a series, boom, 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 I'm going up, and then I come off the field, come back down, go back out, come back down. And if even before the game, I don't know if you ever felt tired before a game even started.
Yeah.
It's because you're up here all the time, right? And it's like, how can I control it so I know how to play this energy game? Yeah. It's the same thing with the mindset. I have to understand. It's a game changer. I learned that in college from my mindset coach. And then I started implementing it in business too, and in life. And it allowed me to be able to carry more, which is, and it happened over time. Like, I could be able to handle a lot more just because I know how to go up and go down.
Yeah, dude, that's massive. Because I feel like for a big majority of my sports career, I still had so much anxiety.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was almost like a pointless. It's like, why do I even feel this way?
You feel nervous to like.
But it would just feel like this crippling. But when I would think about, like, why am I feeling this? I couldn't even figure out why. It's just like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And then, but I feel like as soon as I kind of more accepted it, I'm just like, okay, this is just a feeling. And it's just like, I'm just excited about this. I'm not really nervous necessarily. I want to do this thing, right?
Yeah.
I want to knock on these doors because I want to go provide for my family. I want to compete. But yeah, for some reason, it's just like, you just got to get in that right mindset of just accepting it and have fun with it.
Yeah. You always got to have fun. That's my dad. My dad coached me in college, and that's his number one rule is
that's a blessing.
Have fun. Okay. Oh, it was cool. I loved it. I mean, because I'm the oldest son, and the things that come with that, and I had to earn everything. Yeah, that's part of it. That's part of the, his warrior culture with his background, being from Tonga, and there was no favoritism. Everything was harder, honestly, but I loved it. I just got used to it. Like, always doing more, always, all that, and it was great.
That's awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
I definitely want to have you on again. I know this is a short one.
Oh yeah, this is great. I love talking about this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what you're doing, and just hopefully I can be a part of it in the future. Just be a part of helping other athletes, which is really cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.